Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious Podcast, Episode 8. I'm Black Pill Phil, and this is Through the Looking Glass Raymond. And today, we're going to talk about society.
I don't understand the reference on that one.
Which one? Which part don't you understand?
The Through the Looking Glass / society.
Oh, because I'm pegging you as Alice in Wonderland. You're going to go through the rabbit hole today.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to call you Blue Pill Raymond, but I'm like, he's not Blue Pill. And if I called you Green Pill because you like your, the color green, it wouldn't really track as a reference. People would be like, what's green pilled? So, before we get into the society thing today, guys, as always, if you like what we do, subscribe, follow, drop us a like, leave a comment, share the video with everyone you know, and as always, we are on Rumble, YouTube, and Spotify. But so today we're going to talk about society because I've been watching a lot of videos lately on the future of the West and where we're headed, and really what started a lot of it. I don't know if you know this, but we're on the verge of population collapse, which is really fucking fun.
Globally or
No, the Western worlds. Africa, India, all those countries like that, the impoverished nations are actually on population booms. And it's because they're going on the reverse trajectory that we have been. So before going into the whole societal thing, I'll preface the way the population booms tend to work. So what we had over here and for a very long time, and the whole world really has, is you had a lot of kids dying. Kids died young through disease, things like that. We started fighting off that stuff.
Only the good die young.
Fucking, this is real young. So you'd have 12 kids because 4 would make it. It's really fucked up and really depressing. So what happens with that is eventually we fight off infant mortality, child mortality, and people live longer. So because of that, for the first couple of decades after, people are still having children at a high rate, but the children aren't dying. So eventually that slims itself out. So you have a really wide swath of people, and then eventually that narrows. So you run into problems when those wide swaths get old, and then the tree coming up isn't enough to support them. So technology can help with those kind of things. Instance of that is the baby boomers. So after World War II, everybody came back home. Soldiers fucked like wild. And we got the baby boomers, because they're like, oh my God, I need to have kids. This is crazy. All this crisis stuff. So now we're facing that because the generation before our parents, the silent generation, they were more around the size of our populace. So plenty of people below them to take care of them because the baby boomers boomed out and had a ballooning population. We're on the opposite side of that now, where it'll probably be okay for now, but the baby boomers are about, not double, but they're about 1.5 times like us and Gen X. So we're going to have a lot of old people that need taken care of and not a lot of young people to do it. But the worst part about that is, so Gen X is probably, I think they're 80 million. We're 60 million. Gen Z is 50 million, and Gen Alpha is down to 40 million. So if we keep at this narrowing populace, we're eventually going to hit a spot where there's not enough young people to replace the shit in the system and work either the menial jobs or even the maintenance jobs for society and our technology. We already see it now. There's a shortage of plumbers, HVAC guys, construction guys, all that kind of shit. And it's because of the societal pressures that we have going on now. So the other side of that coin is in the less westernized world. There's still a lot of people dying young. Come on, you go over to India, a lot of that country still doesn't have fucking indoor plumbing. And they're rectifying that, and there's a lot of investments going in there. But right now they're having a population boom because, again, same thing. They need more. They're having more babies because more babies are dying. When that problem gets solved, they're going to go in the same kind of tree reverse fucking population thing that we do. So it's something that AI might help with eventually for some of the menial robotic factory things. But it's also If we continue on the trend in the difference between us and Gen Alpha, the next generation will be down to about 20 million people, which is going to be a huge fucking problem. Like, and every like Western nation around the world right now is trying to like solve that problem. A lot of it's through like unfettered like immigration, but that only works for so long because, like I said, eventually the technology, and I don't mean to sound like they're fucking backwards because they're not. It's the scale of it. So like a lot of these less industrialized countries, they have modern areas. Like if you go to India, there are like modern like areas and modern city centers. Problem is they have so many fucking people, and to spread it out at scale is their issue. But eventually they'll do that. And when they do that, you can't just use immigration to substitute your population because they're going to slow down on their population too. Because it's a weird phenomenon that the more technology you have, the less rates of death you have, the more education you have, your birth rate slows down. And it's a weird thing because it's the bigger the middle class, the slower the birth rate is. Because the poor have fucking kids like crazy, and the rich have fucking kids like crazy. It's only the middle class that goes, I don't know if I can afford kids. I don't know if I want to bring kids into this. And like some of it's like education level, but there's impoverished people that are also very educated. They just didn't make a lot of fucking money. But what happens there is you have a bunch of kids that help you do what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You have 6 kids. Yes, it's hard to feed them, but you could put all of them to work, like helping to improve your station. And the same thing with the rich. Yes, you're wealthy and whatnot, and it means you could support more kids, and you want to have more kids for your legacy. It's a fucking vanity thing. There's a reason why Elon Musk has like 12 fucking kids. It's fucking craziness. But yeah, so right now, like we're trying to bring people into the country to substitute that. Japan is going to be an interesting one to watch because Japan is like 10 years ahead of us on this cycle of society collapse. Mm-hmm. And like their government themselves have like noted like this is a fucking huge problem and they're trying to fix it. So I'm keeping an eye on them to see what happens. Probably going to happen everywhere else to us. But like even right now with like the immigration thing, so I was looking up a stat the other day because we were talking about like legal versus illegal like immigration, a couple of those people, and I didn't fucking realize, and it's crazy to think about, and where society is fucking headed here in this country. Did you know that 24% of the population in our state is immigrants, and not like okay, you know, children. First time, never born in this fucking country, immigrants in this state.
20%?
24%. Yeah, that means 1 in 4 people here in this state were not just not born in this state, they weren't born in this fucking country. Which is craziness. And I don't have anything against immigration, but like I didn't realize it was like that far, because then it's like what you start seeing is culture death and culture collapse, because you have 1 in 4 people that have nothing in common with like everybody else. And I'm not saying immigrants are bad people. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is every country around the world has cultural and societal norms. And the way immigration works, normally in most countries, you bring people in, they assimilate, they become part of your culture and your norms, and you know, you continue forward. At a rate that we're going now, you're going to have a split and a divide. And you're seeing shit like that in the UK. And like, I'm not picking sides on this for better or worse, but what's happening is you have a bunch of people coming in that never assimilate, and they have their own separate like way of doing things, and then you have a divide. And like, we're already really divided here, and now we're adding like more of a fucking divide. But it helps me understand too, like why the immigration thing is like such a split issue here, because that's the other thing. Like fucking these kids are having these people are having kids here, and now they're U.S. citizens, which is great. But so like a lot of these issues is like you see like politics and whatnot, like anti-immigration, anti-this, and they're like, hey, that's my fucking mom and dad here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I don't think they understand. We're not talking about them. We're talking about fucking people that have like broken the system and not come here legally, but we're getting these weird pockets growing up. But that's a whole nother thing. I think the real fucking issue is here, and because the I was watching a podcaster talking about like we need to start having more kids, we need to start having more babies, and talking about like dudes just need to go out and start approaching women and fucking like I'm like all right, sure, dude, yeah, whatever you say, buddy. But I really think that the deeper rooted issue that we haven't come to grips with yet, and what I want to discuss about today because it's been like boiling in my head a little bit. I think the real tripping point in this country that people don't want to talk about and ignore is that we've hit a tipping point where we've gone from a mostly religious society to a mostly atheistic society. And I think the difference there, and the thing we haven't wrapped our head around yet, is religion uses the mind to control the body, and atheism, for the most part, uses the body to control the mind. And what I mean by that is both of them agree that like we have like basic like impulses, like animalistic impulses of like, yeah, you want to go out and fuck everything. You want to go out and be like the top dog, like all this stuff. You know, you shouldn't suppress these bad things. Like what you want normally in biology is good. And religion says, no, we need to control that. Your mind should control the urges of the body. And then the non-religious side is saying, no, you shouldn't feel guilty over the impulses of your body and let the body govern the mind. And I could be like completely off base on this, but I just see that that's like kind of like the split, and why I think we see a lot of people going back to like old like things like stoicism has become like a big thing, which isn't really religious, but it's along that like lines of like don't give into the impulses of the flesh, let the mind control like the body to like an extreme degree too, because like stoicism gets a little crazy, but I understand why people like want to do that thing. And it's just it makes me wonder like where are we going to go societally in like another 20 years? Because with the AI technology getting better and like humanoid robots and like even like the AI videos that have been coming out lately, we're for sure going to head to like the sexbot future from like Futurama. And it's going to be like the Lucy Liu bot where like for a while there, like people are just going to say, fuck it. We're just going to have sex with the machines.
Yeah.
And like people think that's like crazy now, but honestly, we have
it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
yeah.
We have the younger generation growing up on fucking iPads and shit. Like they have more intimate relations with their computer than they do with other people. And I wonder if that's just
there's already a large number of people who have like a relationship with just an AI chatbot. Basically, if you put like an actual body on the motherfucker, then yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if what'll happen with that, and it's really sad and cold and detached, but I think it'll probably like shake out that way. I wonder if it'll like be like a little bit like the fucking Rick and Morty planet where fucking remember where Summer goes to like the old female controlled planet and it's like got the male like aliens that are just like fucking the robots and whatnot, and it comes out dropping loads.
I don't remember
and
this.
then it makes babies, and then the female babies are kept in the high society and the male babies are kicked out. But basically what I think will happen there is, you know, to keep like the society going, they'll almost like make it like it'll be artificial like wombs and shit like that. And you'll have sex with your fucking robot and it'll make a fucking kid, and then that kid will just be raised by more robots. And it'll be some like weird like hybrid between us and technology in a weird like relationship. Like you'll bang your fucking female robot, they'll collect the sperm, and then a woman will bang their male robot and it'll collect the egg, and then it'll just like take that back and like put it in an artificial womb, pop out a fucking kid, and then that kid will be raised by like nannies, and then like the cycle continues.
Or that's how a human robot relationship will have a kid, and then raise that together. Which
Maybe
would also be fucking weird.
But the reason why I think it'll be more extracted is because we're getting away more and more from women wanting to birth kids, which is like
no, I'm just saying like even if it's like artificial insemination or like remote womb or whatever.
Yeah.
Not necessarily raised by robots, but it could be raised by like single parent with robot.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah, so you're hoping for the more like
At least there's a human involved in that
yeah, the
scenario.
nice version of that. I'm thinking the more hedonistic style where it's like, fuck it, I just want to bang my fucking robot and not have to deal with raising a kid and the fucking shit that comes with that. I don't know. I've just been like thinking about it. I'm like, I think over the next 10 to 20 years, maybe even 30 years, we're going to see some fucking crazy shift in the way that society works. And it's either going to be we're going to go back to very strict religious society, or we're just going to fully embrace like the hedonistic aspect. And I think technology is going to be the determining factor in that. Because like, again, it was so fucking funny. There's the place that I heard it on. It's there's a YouTube channel. I don't know if you ever watched videos from this guy before. It's a podcast called Diary of a CEO.
No.
So he has like a bunch of like tech people on, a bunch of like people that are like very like high up in business world on to like talk about these things. And the episode that I watched with this, he had on a female dating coach, which always cracks me the fuck up, and a billionaire male CEO that like he had a TED talk recently where he's talking about Asmongold even reacted to it, where he's talking about that we need to fundamentally shift the way that the whole like college system and everything works, and talking about how like the opportunities that he was given when he was younger don't exist today, and all we're doing is taking the top 10% and trying to cherry pick billionaires out of them, as opposed to before taking the bottom 90% and trying to give them an opportunity to become the top 10%. Because he was talking about the school that he went to wouldn't even accept him nowadays. Like he said, like their acceptance rate and criteria, like if he had applied to that school today with like the fucking the credentials he had when he got in, they would have denied him. And not only would they have denied him, they probably would have laughed in his face. So both of these people are on the fucking podcast, and I always laugh with the female dating coaches. They like crack me the fuck up, because they're always like, this is fucking what women want, and this is what men need to do, and blah blah blah. And then like fucking when a man like pushes back like on them, it's like, this is the male experience. They're like, that's not true. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, how would you know? Like, that would be like, I could be a dating coach for fucking men. Not that I would, because my fucking track record sucks. But, like, you know what? Like, I could give advice to men that would make sense. But, like, I could give advice to women. Like, they could ask, like, women could ask me, like, what do men want? And I could
Depends
tell
on the
them.
dude.
Yeah. Well, no, but I could tell them, like, on average, like, what they want. But, like, if I couldn't give advice for a woman as to, like, this is how you get a man, because I'm not a fucking woman. I don't understand that thing. But she's like, this is what women want, and it's cool. And it's like, as soon as like you say, well, that's just ridiculous. And I'm like, okay. But I will give this lady credit. She's the first like female dating coach that I've seen that is like married. Because that one always cracks me up when they're like, I'm a dating coach, but I'm single. I'm like, why would I take advice from you? That would be like, I want to get into business and like start up a business. But instead of going to the fucking millionaire or billionaire guy, I go to the homeless guy. Like, okay, yeah, you might have started a business before, but what the fuck, dude? You're out in the streets. But yeah, it was so funny to me because they were like talking about like the emotional intelligence quotient, and she's talking about like now because like women are making more than men in the younger brackets, which is mostly true. She's looking at like, oh, well, now men need to bring more to the table and they need to be emotional intelligent. And the guy brought up the counter to that. It's like, yeah, except for like when a man shows emotional intelligence, then like a woman becomes not attracted to him. And she's like, well, I don't think that's necessarily true. And it's like, and then he started like, he like listed off a bunch of like areas where that happened. And she's like, wow, still. And he was crazy with it too, because he's like my advice for the younger generation to like go out and like do this and meet these women. He's like, you just got to go out like fucking and get drunk and make bad decisions and take risk. And I'm like, yeah, that worked for you in the fucking 80s, dude. Before social media was a thing, people recorded you and like the whole Me Too thing went down. Like he's basically saying like, get drunk as fuck and then like make bad decisions. I was like, yeah, that's a great way to catch a charge nowadays. Like, what are you talking about? So I think the problem is it's this older generation trying to solve the problem of the youth, when really Like the biggest like deep seated problems are one, the divide between rich and poor is like greater than ever. So like his talking point with that, where like we need to create more opportunities, I think is good because again, if you don't have hope, you're not gonna have kids. Like you can't buy a house, you can't afford like your normal day to day. And I think what the fuck did he say? I think I was watching somebody, and we may have to look it up. But and actually, yeah, let's look this one up. How many people making six figures in America are living like paycheck to paycheck? So like the percentage of people making six figures living paycheck to paycheck in America.
Let's find out.
You need to check your phone over there, buddy. You get blown up.
It's nothing important. It's just apps that keep going off.
Capybara. But yeah, because the six figure like paycheck to paycheck in fucking America is like crazy. And when I heard this like fucking figure, I was like, that is so fucking bad.
Percentage of six-figure earners living paycheck to paycheck. We'll do our AI overview here.
Yeah, which tends to be wrong.
You want to go to a different article? Then?
Yeah. That shit at the bottom is like, that's what I was like hoping. Yeah, about half of people making six figures are living paycheck to paycheck, which is just fucking insanity, dude.
Crazy. How much of that is like locale basic?
Oh, that's even worse. Like that's a June 2024. This is a 66.2%.
Yeah, 66.2% of Americans feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. But click that, and I wonder if that's the six figure earners.
Holy shit! There's so many ads on this.
Yeah. It always is. Holy fuck.
Almost half of adults consider themselves as broke. Earning a six-figure salary ain't enough. 48% of those earning $100,000 or more say they're living paycheck to paycheck.
And a third making $200K or more report the same? Dude. Like, can you fucking like even imagine that? And so like you have shit like that now, and like you have so many people checking out of the workforce and the gig economy, and it's just like it's feast or famine now.
Mm-hmm.
You either do like an odd job thing, like you're a streamer, you're an OF fucking person, you're a podcaster, and you make quick bank, or you're just fucking poor at home in your parents' basement. And I know we're shaming those people, but I think that's also part of the problem. We need to go back to multi-generational living. This is a weird trend that the fucking boomers did. Yeah, mute your fucking phone over there, dude. What the fuck?
It's literally nothing important. It's fucking apps going
Speaking
off
of
no
boomer over there with fucking audio fucking notifications.
I hate that I have to. I'm gonna get like an automation or whatever that'll mute that when I get home. I have to have it on at work because I have to hear it for the call. I got bitched at for never answering my fucking phone at work. They needed me.
Wow.
And it's because like I wasn't feeling it vibrate or whatever in my pocket when I was busy doing shit. So I have to have it on so I can hear it going off. And I tried to set up an automation so it would like mute and unmute when I got like home from work or whatever, and it didn't work. So I'm gonna have to get another app. I've tried using Tasker before on my phone, which does some pretty awesome stuff. But it's confusing to use. But apparently they're getting an AI feature on it now. So you can just like tell it what to do instead of having to like go through and manually do all the shit yourself. So
I wonder if it's got shit like
I
wonder if it's got shit like the fucking iPhone, because I know the iPhone you could set quiet hours. I don't know if you could do that on.
I don't want to set quiet hours. I want to do it by location. I want it so like when I get to work, it turns the volume on and then turns it back off when I leave. 'Cause that's the only place I want my fucking phone volume on.
Well, yeah, but you could set the quiet hours and then fucking like it doesn't do that except these hours like Monday through Friday, and then you're going to be at work
until I go to work on the weekend and forget to turn it on.
Oh, true. Fuck. Yeah. That's all right. But yeah. So again, I think we're going to go back to multi-family dwelling, and we kind of are now. But the whole kick you out of the house at fucking 18, that's a boomer thing. Like, I don't know why the boomers decided we needed to do that. Their parents didn't fucking do that to them. Like, the boomers just decided, fuck you, get the fuck out of my house. I don't want to fucking raise you anymore. It's a weird dynamic. And now, like, the younger generation is, like, living at home till, like, they're 30. Which, honestly, it's a thing in a lot of places. Like, when I was over in Italy, for the most part, like, unless you're in a relationship with someone, they live at home. They don't go and like get kicked out because things are expensive. So it's easier if everybody's living together, and then fucking you combine your incomes. So like we might go back to that just to survive, especially because until the boomers start dying off, the housing market's not gonna like stabilize and settle itself. Because it's artificially inflated right now because there's people that have like fucking 3 properties.
Yep.
And they're not living in fucking any of them. So we're going to see the opposite happen when they start dying off, and when later Gen X and Gen X is kind of already, late Gen X is already getting their inheritance from the silent generation. Early Gen X, late millennials, when they start getting inheritance and selling these homes, it's just going to collapse the market because then we're going to get flooded with supply. And then it's just gonna go, oh yeah, you want 700,000 for that home? Nah, there's like 30 of them now. I'll give you fucking 400. And so we're gonna have to deal with that, especially because our generation is definitely gonna be like, yeah, I don't want to go through the effort of doing all this extra shit. Fucking just give me whatever you're gonna give me, and I'll fucking move on. But yeah, we're at this weird place where the young generation just feels like lost and hopeless. And we have a weird dynamic too, where girls are succeeding more than ever, and men are now falling behind. And even if we switch things to rectify that issue, it's still gonna lag by like 20, 30 years. And then we're gonna have the opposite problem because we tend to overcorrect things. So like even if we started pulling some of these programs back and incentivizing men to go into education and stuff like that again, it would just overcorrect in the other direction. We never seem to find this like nice hysteresis and balance between like everything. We just like, oh, it's like this. Fuck you. We're gonna like swing it the other way hard. And it's like, no. Like let's just sort the thing out and let the system balance. And we also are like in a weird spot because again, like we're in a part now where I think the body governs the mind, so the mind governing the body. So, like, we're like, oh, yeah, people are doing better than ever, but, like, we haven't rectified the fact that, like, okay, if we switched the dynamic between men and women where, like, women have been liberated now and can take on more masculine roles, we haven't figured out that dynamic where, like, okay, then, like, certain women need to be like men in dating. Which is also leading to this whole, like, fucking problem because even the dating coach was saying, and it was crazy to me, and I'm like, I guess it makes sense, but it's just fucking wild. Is because we have so many now because that pool of men that women are interested in is like smaller than ever now, just because of like the different social pressures, and they're doing better. So women tend to date up, men tend to date down. That she was saying that she was hosting singles events in, I think she was in L.A., wherever the fuck she's at, and the men that showed up to the fucking the singles events, right? They weren't single men. They were fucking polyamorous men looking for fucking more women to put in their polycule. And the fucking wild part was the women that were there were like so like disillusioned and trying to, that they were actually like going for it. It's like fucking wild. So we got a very like tight group of men that are like fucking have all this access and are abusing it, and fucking women feeling like we can't find any good men because they are dealing with these fucking assholes, and both sides of it are not conducive to long-term relationships and children. So it's just, I don't know where it goes in another 10 to 20 years, but I think the problem is by the time we're going to be old, the whole fucking bottom's going to fall out in a place that I think we're going to start seeing the large percent of the elderly population is going to be homeless. We're going to be fucking dying in the streets with nobody to take care of us. It's going to be fucking wild and dystopian, but you need that bottom top pipeline. And if you don't have that bottom top pipeline, it goes, okay, well, there's 70 million millennials, and then by that'll be probably what, alpha, beta, gamma. It'll probably be generation gamma that's there when we get to that age. And if there's 20 fucking million gamma, that means there's going to be 50 million millennials that just get left out in the cold. Because that's how that works. Maybe a little bit less, call it 40 million, but 50 million that are just like uncared for. Because if you don't have kids, you don't have money, you don't have access, you're just going to be out in the fucking cold and no one's going to give a fuck. And all of it could be fixed and prevented right now, but the real problem is the third rail in politics, which I don't know if you've heard that before, but the third rail in politics is Social Security. We refuse to touch it. We refuse to fix it. We refuse to gut it because we have an aging populace and they feel entitled to that money, which to some degree they're not wrong, but the guy was even talking about, and I agree to this, you getting paid Social Security should not be based off of the fact that you paid into the system. It should be based off a need. I.e., if you have means and resources, you should not be receiving Social Security. But fucking every older person is like, I'm entitled to that because I paid into that system. And I was like, okay, but that system was supposed to support people that couldn't retire anyway. If you can retire, why the fuck do you need the money? And it's causing so much issues, but it makes sense when. Do you know what the average age in Congress is?
Like 95.
Close. You're a little high on that, but it's not far off. It's 65 years old. The average age in Congress is 65 years old.
That's much lower than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, no, I didn't say it was a good thing. It was just lower than I was expecting.
So the reason why all these entitlement programs don't get touched and we don't fix these things is because it's all fucking old people making decisions and just stripping everything away from the youth in this fucking country. And it's so bad. It's such a like it used to be in every society across the fucking world, the old stepped aside for the young. At a certain point, the young came up and it was their day and their time, and they took over, and the elderly stepped aside. We are now seeing the inverted of that, where the elderly are pushing aside the young and fucking saying, "Fuck you! I don't care what fucking happens to you. I'm gonna live comfortably in my old age," which is just fucking wild. Their parents didn't do it to them. Fucking we're for the most part not doing it to our kids. It's only that fucking boomer generation that is like, we will hold on to everything till our dying breath, and they're doing it. It's fucking crazy. And again, I don't know what the solution is. I don't know how this is going to shake out, but I have a feeling that our generation is going to feel the fucking brunt of this. Gen X is still going to be okay because they came up in a time where like houses were still affordable and whatnot, and the majority of them fucking own homes. But I think, what is it? The average age of the first-time home buyer in the U.S. now is 35. And double check that. But I think it's 30 or 35 now.
It sounds high.
It is high, but it's a bad thing.
$38.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's even worse.
In the 80s, it was 29.
Yeah. So you're fucking 40 by the first time you buy a home. And this is the thing people don't realize too. That is the indicator of when you're going to start your family and have children. The majority of people that have kids do it after they buy their fucking first time home. Yeah. And when you get over fucking 35, that's when they start considering it geriatric pregnancies. And you run into a fucking bunch of issues at that point. And I hate that that's the way it is. But that's just biology. Like, it is what it is. Fucking a woman's most fertile years, I think, is like, what? Like 22 to 26, like in that like category. Like, and then when you get to 35 to the 40-year-old, it's geriatric range, where there's complications to the women, complications to the children. So you're not getting your first home till 38. You're dealing with that fucking establishment of getting in your first home. And then maybe you have a kid at 40. And that pregnancy could be so difficult and so hard that like that's it. That's all you have. But now you don't even replace yourselves. You need at least 2 kids to replace you because you got the mother and the father. So if you're not having at least 2, there's less. And it just spirals from there and collapse. It's crazy. 38 years old for your first time home. And the worst part is that first time home now is fucking 600, 700,000 and you're paying a mortgage that doesn't even include the property tax of like fucking 2K. It's utter insanity. I watched a video of fucking, and I can't remember if I talked about this on here before, but I watched a video the other day of fucking it was talking about a 2-income household. So the guy's making 125K, the woman's making 75K. Together they're making 200K, qualifying for a mortgage on a fucking 700K like house that once all the taxes, fees, and everything, because they were putting the minimum down to 3%, their fucking housing payment per month was going to be $5,800 a month.
Jesus Christ.
So you have a 2K, you have a 200K household income. You're paying fucking $6,000 a month to afford to live in a home, which that home is not a mansion. It's the regular fucking 3-bedroom family home that used to be fucking 150K in this fucking country. You're paying that, and that's before you have kids. So you have kids, and then you're paying fucking daycare, which is just a crazy absorbent amount. And it's just like, yeah, no wonder fucking people aren't having like more kids and society's fucking collapsing. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't afford shit. like it's scary, and I don't know where we're headed, but I'm just like, we're in for some very fucked up times ahead. Very fucked up times.
Yeah.
Are you too stoned right now?
No. I'm one of the people like like all of that shit aside. Like I don't want to have kids. Mm-hmm. So.
No, and I want it.
I'm part of the problem.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily bad because like men not having kids doesn't matter as much because it's fucked up. But throughout most of human history, most men didn't end up reproducing. It was usually only, I think in most of humankind, only about 40% of men ended up having offspring. It makes sense. Fucking one man can make a whole village of fucking kids, not the other way around. But men were dying in everything. They were dying in war. They were dying in hunting. They were dying from disease and labor and all this other shit. So like fucking the women were more protected in society, and even today that's still true. And the men were more expendable, which even today is still true. So it doesn't matter, but now we've gone from about 40% of men reproducing to fucking like 10%. It's a huge problem. And like we've sold like an entire generation of women a book of lies of like you can have it all and do it all. And it's not that you can't, but you can't like do it all at the same time. So you can't be like, oh yeah, I want this fucking crazy great career, and then also like I want to have a fucking family of kids. Like it just doesn't work the same because our biological clock is different. Not that like it doesn't have an impact on men too, because like, dude, I don't want to be in my 40s and 50s and having a fucking kid because one, I'm gonna be tired. I'm already fucking tired, but like, and then I'd feel bad too because like let's snowball that or snowball. Let's fucking roll that one out. Let's say, because fucking I'm getting older, you're getting older. I'm fucking 35 now. Let's say I meet a lovely woman at 36, 37 years old. Takes a while for us to date. Now fucking 39, 40, we get married. Now, we're married, living together for a little, 42, we have our first fucking kid. In order for that to happen, the girl's not going to be my fucking age. She's going to be younger. Maybe I meet a girl in her late 20s. So she's like 28 when I'm 38, right? So she has her first kid at 30, 32. And now that means when that kid, and I'm 42, so when that kid is 10 years old, I'm fucking 52. Dude, I'm not going to want to chase around a fucking 10-year-old at 52. But worse than that, that means like when we're older, like when she's fucking 62, I'll be 72. So I'm talking about like I'm going to leave fucking my wife and kids on their own for like at least a fucking decade because I'll die first. For sure I'll die first. One, I'll take that well care of myself. But men die younger anyway. And it's like, do I really want to do that to somebody that I purportedly love unless I have like a fucking shit ton of money in the bank? Like, Paul McCartney getting that younger girl in his fucking 80s. Who fucking cares? The guy's got millions. He dies, they're set. They're well off. If I'm the sole provider of the fucking household and I die at fucking 72, 82 and like leave them behind, like what is my wife going to do? Because for the most part, women live longer. So if I die at 82 and she's 72 and she lives to fucking 90, I got to have enough saved up for her to live for another 20 fucking years. Or at least hope that the fucking kids that we have are nice enough to fucking take care of her. Which, 50-50 on that one. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's wild. And that age gap between young and old is getting, like, fucking worse and worse, too. Because, our parents, not so much. Your parents, my parents, they got together later in life. But my grandparents on both sides got together when they were like in their 20s, their early 20s. And like, and there wasn't like a 20-year-old woman back then wasn't going to go and get with a dude in her 30s. Like, it just wasn't a thing. It was like everybody was dating in their age group. And that's kind of fucking disappeared in this society. And it's causing huge problems. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I used to want kids, but now I don't want kids anymore. Mostly because, again, so many fucking societal problems, but I hate the world, so why would I bring fucking other kids into the world? But the world's gone mad anyway. It's like, one, I'd have to be able to afford where, like, I could take care of a wife and kids, but two, then I'd have to be able to afford where I could homeschool them. Because I don't trust the fucking school system today, unless they're, like, somewhere different. They just teach you so much fucking bullshit nowadays too, dude. It's not even like oh yeah, they're gonna be propagandized. I think this is just our school system is so broken ever since Bush and the whole No Child Left Behind shit. They just don't learn shit and they just pass them on. Like fucking what is it? A third of high school graduates now can't like read at a high school graduate level. Like I think there was that article a while ago where the girl sued her high school because like fucking she graduated top of her class and couldn't read and write.
Jeez.
Because they're just like, fuck it, pass them on to the next grade. Like, what do we care? Like, I don't know. I don't know where we head from here. And again, it's been great. Like, I'm not saying we need to do like the fucking Handmaid's Tale. Like that shit is like wild. But like we got to a point where like we liberated men and women, and all that we did was fucking take care, or we fed it into the fucking corporate system of like, okay, now we have double the workforce, so we're gonna pay you half as much. Like, what the fuck do we do?
Uh-huh.
You don't worry about this shit at all?
Nah.
The shit that keeps me up at night, dude.
Stuff that maybe I should worry about, but nah, I don't worry about much.
No, I just like, dude, I think about it all the time, and again, the problem is the fact that because we have a society that fell apart and there's fucking no morals in our society anymore, it is easily taken over by a different culture that has very strict morals, and I wonder how that's going to shake out. Like, there's fucking areas over in the UK right now where they're like basically under Sharia law because fucking the Muslim population move in and they're just like, we're gonna fucking take over everything. And I understand why that kind of thing happens, because if you grow up in an area with no structure, no relevance, no hope, and then you bring in a culture that has all of those things, you're gonna go for it. Like, that's where, like, extremism and all this fucking shit comes from, is from people that have no hope trying to find something. So, something that makes them feel like they belong, that they have value, that they have meaning, that they have purpose. And that's where I don't think people are paying attention enough, because we are headed for a state where I don't think it's just going to be, well, there will be pure hedonism, but I think the pure hedonism is going to be at battle with the fucking the apostates of just like fucking pure religious zealotry in a way that we haven't seen since like the Crusades, and it's going to be fucking nuts. I don't know.
You think we're going to see another Crusades?
No, not another Crusades, but like But like, I think that like fucking like firm like religious zealotry is gonna like come back to a crazy degree because people tend to rebel against their parents, and if your parents are wild, hedonistic, and in a fucking polycule, the kid is gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna do the exact fucking opposite of that, and I don't know where it heads.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
Don't spill that.
the mic got in my way, man. I don't know. But again, population collapse, societal on the fucking wrong turn, and I think we're headed down a dark path, one way or another, and we don't know what our next fucking future is going to be like because so many of young people don't want to get involved in the system at all, and I talked about this before, but like fucking the way that they go after anybody that tries to go into politics now is stopping any young person from going into politics. When they started going like after Kavanaugh back in the day of like, oh yeah, you need this fucking diary record from when you were in high school to prove that you weren't a fucking rapist. Fucking every fucking young person in the country went like, what if they bring up my old fucking like Xbox chat logs, like, like fucking like and because my old man just said that to me before. He's like, "Why don't you go into politics?" I was like, "Because I don't want him looking up my internet history." Like we all came of age with the internet, and the younger generations even like sooner before us. Like I could imagine, like if we had high speed internet when we were 10 years old. Oh my god, dude! Like fucking what the fuck? And that's the thing. We don't have that room to grow anymore, and until we get more young people in politics, I don't think we're going to have anything to protect against that, and really to make that a thing. I think we need to do something like almost like an internet protection law, where like if you run for any kind of like governmental office, that they are not allowed to look into your online persona before the age of 18. Like, because you're young and dumb with the fucking the internet, the phone, the text. I think we need to give kids the ability and room to make errors and mistakes, and then that you as an adult shouldn't be judged for fucking the actions of when you were a kid, with like the crazy technology that we had access to. Because again, anybody that wants to do the right thing now, all they got to do is fucking look up like the shit that you did when you were younger online, which never goes the fuck away. And then if you're allowed if you're allowed to the table at all, you'll be controlled because they'll just be like, yeah, we found all this shit on you. So like once you get in, you're going to vote this way. And if you don't, go fuck yourself. We're going to release the logs. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. I think our generation is pretty much fucked with that. But I think the much younger generation now who's like they grew up with an iPad in their hand and social media and Instagram everywhere. They're better at monitoring their or metering their online persona.
Yeah, but the problem is
it'll be slightly less of a problem then.
The private DMs. That's the real problem. Yeah. That's the thing that's gonna make all of them fucking cooked. Because like, yeah, you'll do this shit, but on the back end, like you've been messaging your friends in a different fucking way, and all of that'll be like even like fucking Discord. Like, people say wild shit and talk crazy shit on Discord. Discord, by the way, is the worst fucking messaging platform to be on because none of their shit is encrypted at all. None of it. So all of it is like fucking like freely available, widely open to fucking not only the Discord team, but anybody they want to fucking give the shit to. And like a lot of youth are on Discord talking on there constantly. You say some wild shit to your fucking friend, just joking around. You don't mean any of it. And then they're just going to take it and put it out of context online. Can you believe that the fart box number 69 said this to this guy? Like you saw it with the fucking Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Fucking whether you agree with him or not, they fucking brought up his fucking user handle on there, which was 4 doors more whores. Like, come on, dude. Like, think about all the wild of like fucking handles like we had like when we were younger and whatnot. Like, this is the shit that's ruining it because the younger generation is so concerned about getting drugged through the mud because of cancel culture, all this shit, that they're not stepping up into these fucking roles. And to make them bulletproof on these things, you need money. And if you don't have money, you're not going to do it. The thing that makes like Trump like untouchable, it's like, yeah, you could slink mud at him all day long, but he's still got $1 billion at the end of the day. So what the fuck does he care?
Mm.
If he gets canceled, if you're like, I'm never going to do business with him again, it's like he's like, I got enough fucking money that like I could live through like 3 lifetimes, you know. But your average person doesn't have that. Your average person, you know, going paycheck to paycheck isn't going to throw it all on the fucking line just to maybe correct the system and where it's headed. So, like the fact that there's no young people that like really stand out besides like AOC in like Congress and in government is a fucking problem. And like even AOC, they tried to drag through the mud. Luckily, she was like kind of too dumb to have like a real online presence. But remember, like she was a bartender, and they dragged out like the videos of her like making like weird like not TikTok dances, but like YouTube dances back in the day, and they tried to like shame her for that.
Do you think I remember that?
You don't remember most things. You don't remember the fucking people that were on Warehouse 13. So
yeah, most of them. Just not Aaron Ashmore, apparently.
Fucking crazy, dude. He was a main character on the fucking show. They're like, I don't remember that guy.
I remember the name. The name Jinx of it, but like for some reason. And I love the Ashmores, so I'm very surprised. I completely forgot he was on that fucking show.
Yeah, fucking wild.
But I don't even know who I don't know what AOC stands for. I know it's
Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah. So no, I don't remember that.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's the young congresswoman, and I say young. I think she's 32 years old now. She's like around our age. Who's like she was controversial because she's like a fucking straight up like communist, and she just went on the fucking the tour with Bernie Sanders, the like anti-oligarchy tour, where they were taking private jets everywhere. Whoopsie. They are the fucking oligarchy. Like, sorry, like if you're a serial politician, i.e., you have a career in politics and you're reelected time and time again, you're the oligarchy. Like, it's like you're the fucking oligarchy class. You might not have the millions, but you have such fucking connections and power that like it doesn't fucking matter.
Do they have never-ending breadsticks?
What? What is oligarchy?
Or the never-ending pasta balls?
That's Olive Garden.
That's what you said.
I said oligarchy. Clean your ears out, bitch. But no, the fact that she's the only like really standout young person in Congress is so bad. But that's where we're headed to because of the older generation abusing the system so bad and stripping away like monetary freedom from the younger generation. We're headed to straight up communism, where it's just going to be like we're going to give away like free shit to everybody, and it'll be fun. I'll be here for it because like fucking I work hard so I can fucking relax a little bit. But like people don't realize like how bad that shit's going to be. They think like, oh, it's this utopia thing where we give out everything to everybody, but. Wait, did it stop recording us for a little bit there?
No, I think it did the same thing. And I'm not going to stop it because it's going to be there. Don't worry about it.
Okay, it's just like a visual bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoops.
I'm fairly certain.
All right, fuck it. But yeah. Like, I just, it's wild to me because there's such a large voting block, which is why we've gone this way. But we have flipped society on head where the needs of the old outweighs the needs of the young. And it has never been that way before at any time in human history. Like there's always been the wise elders in society. That's always been a thing. You listen to the old for advice, but the elderly have never governed what the young do. It's always been that mid range, the middle, like so. Gen X had their time, and honestly, we should see more Gen X leaders in politics than we do now, which we don't really see. But like now should be about the time when millennials are coming in and stepping fray, and it's just not the case. It's so bad. Like I don't know. Fuck it. like
red pill Phil for president.
No, black pill, dude. I'm black pill. I was red pilled a long time ago, but now I'm like black pilled of like fucking the doom and gloom where like societal collapse. But I don't really give a shit. Like, I'll figure out a way to survive regardless. Because that's what I've always done. I fucking rolled with life's punches, dude. Like, fucking, like, you try
I
to
got 21
duck and weave.
kookaroos. I'm gonna be all right.
I ain't got 21 kookaroos, but I got skills. I'll figure it the fuck out. Like, I'm not afraid to learn things and try things and do things. So, like, if they're like, oh, well, what are you going to do? I'll be like, I'll become an electrician. I'll become a plumber. Fuck it. I'll be a garbage man. Like, who the fuck cares? Construction worker. It'd be probably fun. Fucking, you work hard all fucking day long, intensively, like, physical labor, but not mentally labor. And I'd probably feel better at the end of the day. Yeah.
Did you just talk about how tired you were?
Well, yeah, like, emotionally tired. But, like, fucking, like, you know what I mean? You work fucking hard like that, and then you die at 65 because your fucking body fell apart. But who the fuck cares? Like I've said for a long time anyway, you're only guaranteed to 30. Everything plus there is bonus years. I'm working on bonus time right now. It's like 30 is like the equivalent of getting your car to 100,000 miles. Past that, you're just waiting for the fucking thing to fail that takes you the fuck out. And for anybody that's like, oh, that's bullshit. Yeah, get to 30 and then you tell me.
Like, we're going, ow.
Yeah, what did I do? I slept funny. People may be living longer than ever now with certain things, but like the majority of human history, if you made it through youth, you made it to 30, you were gonna live into like old age, like in your 60s at least, regardless anyway.
Well, usually up to like 80s.
Yeah. So like people are like, that's crazy. And it's like, no, that's just life. It's like we don't have medical advancements for parrots, but they live 80 fucking years. That's just how long they live. Like if you make it past the struggle point, you're gonna live about that long, and then something's gonna fail. You know,
unless you're a lobster,
the coolant's gonna run out. Yeah, the lobster. That shit's crazy. Lobsters can live forever. Alligators can live forever too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun one too. They get hunted, but we have I think we have an alligator in captivity who's like over 100 years old. Because the problem is that, like, much like the lobster, they just keep shedding their skin and getting larger. And eventually you just hit a size where it's not, like, tenable anymore. But we're keeping it alive and keeping it going. And technically, from what we understand from both lobsters and alligators, they're functionally immortal. The fucking, the ecosystem kills them. But technically, if nothing in the ecosystem killed them, they could just live forever.
Amazing.
Which is fucking crazy. We should investigate that to like add to our fucking lifespan. A lot of people.
A lot of people are. I was telling somebody else the other day about alligators, and we were playing a game called board game called Evolution. You make a species and then give it like abilities to play. But that she had something like her herbivores climbed and made a carnivore. She's like, no, you can't eat me on climbing. So the next time I played a card to let my carnivore climb. I'm like, yeah, it's an alligator. She's like, what? Like, yeah, you didn't know alligators climb? No. Yeah. Alligators can climb fences and trees. They don't give a fuck. And I'm like, oh yeah, and they run at like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Alligators are fucking terrifying if they want to be.
Yeah. They're running 30 miles per hour straight. That's why the zigzag thing works. But like people fuck that one up because they like try to like zigzag quickly. It's like, no, zigzagging like you change. Yeah, you change directions, but after a little while. But yeah, still the craziest thing is a fucking hippo, dude. Hippos are wild.
Hippos are also terrifying.
Yes. Yeah, they kill crocodiles, which is scarier than an alligator.
The babies are real cute. Hashtag Moodang.
Yeah. Yes, but still, fucking hippos are just fucking land tanks. Like that, like fucking like.
That's a great way.
They're fucking land tanks.
Well, amphibious tanks.
No. That's the fucking thing. Hippos chill out in the water, but they also fucking run on land, and they run like 30 to 40 miles per hour
on land.
Oh yeah. Google that shit. Fucking what is the land speed of a hippo and the weight of a hippo? Because I think they're like fucking
humongous.
I think they're like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google that shit. Look it up. Because it's fucking crazy. Fucking people versus gorilla. Fuck that shit. People versus hippo, dude. not typing. What'd you do?
I don't know what I did. What did I do? Holy shit.
Dude.
An adult hippo is between an adult male hippo is between 3,500 and 9,900 pounds. That's insane.
That's almost fucking 5 tons, bro. Jesus,
the mean
fucking
adult weight
Christ.
is a little over 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, fucking 2 tons, dude. That's 2 tons of fucking just straight beefcake running at you. And fucking look at the fucking speed, dude. 20 miles an hour. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Can you imagine? That's like getting hit by a car going 20 miles an hour. That's what that is. You're getting hit by a fucking car.
With tusks.
Yeah, with a fucking jaw crushing fucking, where they just crush fucking watermelons like they're nothing. Fuck. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, that, like, hippos are crazy. Even crocodiles don't fuck with the hippos because they'll just fuck them up.
Are hippos carnivores or herbivores?
They're herbivores, but they're like straight testosterone. They're just like aggressive as fuck. Like you could like fucking look at it like I think you could Google that too. What is the testosterone level in fucking in hippos?
That's something people measure?
Yeah, we gotta understand why they're so aggressive. Testosterone.
Okay, there's numbers there, but I don't know what the fuck that shit means.
Okay, yeah, but so herd bulls have a testosterone concentrate of 97 N/G in their tests, while the bachelor bulls have a higher concentration, 188.8 Ng. Jesus fucking Christ, that's fucking insane. Dude, look up the testosterone levels of bull sharks. That'll tell you how fucking like crazy that is. Because bull sharks like have like some of the highest fucking testosterone levels in the fucking world. Dude, that's half a fucking bull shark level. That's why bull sharks are so fucking aggressive, because they're just amped on testosterone all the time. Yeah, go ahead, look up the human male testosterone levels.
It's nanograms per deciliter. The other ones put it in milliliter, and that one's per gram. They're all in different fucking formats.
What the fuck? Human testosterone levels versus hippo testosterone levels. Look at that. Hippos, while not directly studied for testosterone, humans are believed to have lower testosterone levels compared to human males. Get the fuck out.
Well, there you
hippos
go.
are so fucking aggressive. All right, let's look at that little fucking. Hey, you might drink a little, bitch.
Guinness, you don't want alcohol.
Yeah, he's like pawing at
You would not like that.
Yeah, stay over there. Stay in your lane. Look up why are hippos so aggressive.
Because they got them big old teeth and no toothbrush.
No, that's alligators, and that's why they're so ornery. Guinness, what are you doing, dude? You're going crazy. Go back to licking shoes over there.
B, aggressive. B-E, aggressive. Hippos are known for their aggressive behavior due to their territorial nature, size, and weight, and sharp teeth. I don't know.
Fucking crazy.
It says they are.
Yeah, they're.
It gives the I don't know, cultural reason is wrong, but like, nature wise, but it doesn't give like a medical reason.
I don't know. They're fucking crazy though. Like they are scary as fuck.
What's more aggressive, hippos or moose?
Depends on whether it's breeding season or not. I don't want to run into a moose, dude. Those things are fucking crazy. They're crazy big. They're crazy dangerous. And when it's the breeding season, stay the fuck away.
Angry hippo or angry moose?
I'm on a snowboard.
Surfboard.
Surfboard? Oh my god, give me the moose all day. Jesus Christ. The fucking hippo will fucking kill me with the fucking teeth. The moose might charge you, but you might be okay in the water. But the moose swim, they get crazy speed. Look at the fucking moose swim speed. I think it's like 30 miles an hour or some shit. It's fucking crazy. Moose move so fucking fast in the water.
35 miles an hour?
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Maximum adult running is 35 miles an hour.
Okay, running. What is...
And swim at 6 miles an hour.
Okay, but still. For up to 2 hours. You can swim at 6 miles. What is the fucking fastest swim speed of a human?
Probably more than that.
Yeah, fucking Michael Phelps is probably like 10 miles an hour for fucking... That's running. Fuck the running.
Okay, 5 miles an hour. All right.
You're fucked. It's just really fucked. Dude, not only that, fucking moose are so big. Dude, what's the height of a moose? Look up the height of a moose.
They're enormous, yeah.
Holy shit.
4.5 to 7 feet tall at the shoulder.
At the shoulder. It's not even counting the fucking the antlers standing above that shit, dude.
Jesus.
Holy fucking shit, dude. They're just fucking nuts, dude.
You've seen video of people fucking with moose and just getting owned.
Yeah, fucking morons, dude. Fucking idiots. People are so dumb with like animals. Like, oh, it's a pet. No.
Nah.
It's a wild fucking animal, you idiot.
I did feed a deer once, though. Or, no, I don't think I actually fed the deer, but we fed deer.
You can feed deer here all the time you want. They're all over the fucking place. I hate these fucking deer. I'm giant.
But deer can fuck you up too if they want to.
Yeah, them hooves. Fuck that shit, dude. That's why when that one ran at me the other day, I was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, holy shit. Okay. What's going on here?
Just toss the keys. All right, it's your house.
Yeah, you take it. Leave me alone. Yeah, and that was the one without the fucking antlers. Dude, you haven't been around here yet, but I've been fucking coming out of the door sometimes here where like during the fall when like the male deer get all their like antlers and whatnot so they can fight for who's going to reproduce. Dude, I've come out the fucking door sometimes and I look over to my right and it's just like this fucking like 8-point buck and I'm like, please don't impale me.
That's when you need a crossbow.
I need something, man, but fucking
people
deer
pay for that shit.
Deer are big, and people don't realize it until they're up close, and you're like, yeah, this is a huge animal.
Ride it.
Fucking, I'm just glad to not get impaled by it. But, yeah, so we went from Society to National Geographic, but, whatever. Fuck it.
That was a little bit of a left turn.
Yeah, it's fine. That's where we're headed. We're just going to be animalistic. Oh. I don't know. This is why I drink, to not worry about the doom and gloom of society. But I've just been watching a lot of things lately where like people have been pushing so hard for the younger generation to like have kids, but the thing that they offer them. They're not offering any of them opportunity. They're just like, go out to the bars, get drunk, and start fucking each other again. And it's like, guys, come on.
That's not going to help the situation.
Yeah. The kids don't even have the money to go out to the fucking bars. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, even going to like, remember going to Atlantic City when like we were fucking younger? It'd be like $200.
Spend a couple $100 for the weekend. Yeah.
Dude, I think like a fucking hotel room in AC now, and they're cracking down on like sharing because we're like, remember, like 6 of us would share like a fucking dude. It's like $600 for a fucking hotel in AC for the weekend. Who the fuck is doing that? And they're charging you more per person in the room. What the fuck?
The room is the room.
Man?
Don't charge per person. What kind of shit is that?
Dude, but it's insane. Like Like, they're like, oh, the youth need to do these things. The youth can't even do youth activities anymore. Like, it's fucking insane. But, I don't know. We're all doomed. We're all fucked. I'm here for the weenie roast at the end of the world. I'll make popcorn. It'll be fun. But, I think that's enough doom and gloom for today. I hope you guys learned a little bit about the animal kingdom. And Dick's out for Harambe, but
a couple days ago. Rest in peace.
yeah, rip in peace.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just know that we're all fucked, and you should start banging like rabbits to have more kids. And if you can't afford it, fuck it, the government will take care of them. At least you hope.
Yeah.
Who knows? Or you could be Elon's next baby mama.
Can I be Elon's next baby mama?
It's not possible yet.
No.
But anyway, guys, as always, if you like today and the fucking crazy shit we talked about, subscribe, follow, leave a comment, tell us how we're just fucking nuts and insane. Share the video with everyone you know, and again, follow us on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify.
Thanks, folks.
See ya.